week past, I was watching the Prime Minister deliver an apology to the Inuit people, along with the apology for the suffering they had endured during the tuberculosis epidemic that swept through the north. And I was taken by the fact that as he spoke, there was a lot of noise going on. Particularly somebody's baby was crying. And you could hear noise, people shuffling about, people coughing, baby crying. But he didn't seem bothered by that. He simply just kept speaking. Didn't raise his voice, didn't look irritated, didn't get off his message. And it brought back to me an incident, and I don't know why it came right up into my mind as I was watching him, an incident that occurred in the very beginning months of my ministry. We were holding a special area event, a large special event at the church. And the area bishop of the time was there. And the time came for him to speak. And in this particular church, you had to climb up some stairs into a very high pulpit, and you sort of looked down on all the people. Unlike here, where even with an extra foot, I'm still barely looking down on some people. And as he began to preach, it was a very warm spring evening, early evening. The back door, all the doors to the church were open, and warm air was coming in. The church was completely full. And the way you know the church was completely full was some people were actually sitting in the front row. I know, shocking. No Anglican ever sits in the front row. And in this instance, the people sitting in the front row, I remember distinctly, were two women, very well-dressed women with a baby. And shortly into the bishop's sermon, what do you think happened? Of course, the baby started to get a little restless, as adults do during the sermon. And the baby started to sort of grizzle a bit, and rumble a bit, and snuffle a bit. That soon escalated into a full-blown cry. And the first response of the two women who had the baby was just sort of a shh. The baby was having none of it. The bishop stopped, looked down, and I do mean looked down on these women with their baby and said, "Madam, I think you and the child would be more comfortable outside." You see, no one is impressed by that, are you? I think you and the baby would be more comfortable outside. I don't know if those people ever came back to church again. I certainly never saw them. Whose house was the bishop preaching in? Whose? God's house. Was he a guest there? Yes. Was that woman and her child a guest there? Yes. Not his house. Not his rules. God's house. We are all God's guests. Whose house is this? God's house. You know how I know that? These are definitely not my clothes. You can tell that by the fact that I can't see my feet because these vestments are so huge. We are all guests in God's house. More than that, as the psalmist tells us, we're temporary guests. We're abiding. We're not planted here. We are abiding here. We are living here. God is our host. We are his guests. In his church, in his community, in his world. And what is it that we bring when we visit someone else's house? And how do we conduct ourselves amongst the other guests? invited to Buckingham Palace, you would just think, oh, I have to look my best. I think of some really great anecdotes in case anybody speaks to me, in case the camera comes on me. I'm going to dress great, look great, sound great. But as guests in that place, would we be looking at the other guests and kind of elbowing them out of the way? And just, let me give that Duke a little elbow so I can get closer to Her Majesty. It's the same in the world we live in. God, we say, is our King. He expects from us as his guests for us to bring our best. And to understand that the others with whom we interact are also his guests. He has given his best to us in the world in which we live, in the communities in which we dwell, and in the gift of his Son. He didn't give us a good thing. He didn't give us a better thing. He gave us his best. He gave us his Son. Not because we're worthy, not because we're great, not because sometimes we're even good, but because it is desired that we should have the best. But not just us, everyone. As Paul reminds us today, God is generous to all. In Christ there is neither Greek nor Jew. There aren't those who are outside and those who are inside. Sometimes we think we're doing good, and that is really where the devil gets us. We think we're doing good. But we do good sometimes because we want others to appreciate how good we are. Or we do only as good as we think people deserve. We don't always bring our best. We think that's good enough. That's good enough for him. That's good enough for them. Oh, this will do. That's good enough. When we make donations, food banks, clothing drives, I've heard people say to me, I have some lovely clothing to give away, but I don't want it to go to just anybody. Do you know anyone? So, there's good, there's better, and there's best. Who are we to determine who deserves the better and who deserves the best? We think good is good enough. It's that ill-fated kind of thinking that causes otherwise good and generous people to fall into sin. The situation the Prime Minister apologized for on behalf of all of us was when people thought it was a good thing to take those stricken with tuberculosis out and give them treatment. That was good enough. But when they died, it wasn't good enough just to dump them in an unmarked grave. Their families never knew where they were. Their families never knew if they were coming home. A reporter I listened to afterwards, who was an Inuit woman, said there are still people today who, when they hear a plane, think their mother or father or sister or brother is coming home. And they'll never come home. Because people who thought they were doing good thought that that good was good enough. We always need to check ourselves and ask, am I giving or doing or saying or acting the best way I can? Do I see myself as a guest in this world, a guest of my loving Father, a guest like every other guest? Or do I see myself as having gained a few extra points and I'm now a VIP guest? We are not. As one of the canticles says, that we used to say in morning prayer, it is he that hath made us, not we ourselves. We used to say at the offertory, remember? All things come of thee, O Lord, and what? Of thine own have we been. There is a reason why people say we came into this world with nothing, and we take nothing out. Because nothing belongs to us. We are a guest. We live here with other guests who are as deserving Lent is a wonderful time for us to realize we probably will never commit a huge, egregious sin like murder. But in our good works, sometimes, sin is to be found. The devil didn't tempt Jesus with anything he didn't already have. He tempted Jesus at a point of his goodness, of his compassion. Jesus, of course, wanted all people to have bread to satisfy the hunger. Jesus, of course, thought, I want everyone to know how powerful God is. I want everyone to know that God will save them. So the devil took the desire of Jesus to be good and sought to subvert it by a shortcut. I can give you all those things, Jesus. Just follow me. Frequently, when we seek to do good, it's for ourselves, it's a shortcut, or it's because we can't really see that other people deserve the best. Lent is a wonderful time for us to remember whose we are, whose guest we are, whose home we dwell in, and whose generous gift we have accepted. Not good, not better. He gave us the best.